So this video post is about blockchain, right? And the blockchain and Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency is getting a lot of buzz these days. Blockchain is a very interesting concept, right? I'm not too so much sold on the cryptocurrency yet. Especially this Bitcoin has gone up so much, and so many people have exploited it for their gains. Suddenly, money just disappears in thin air, right? Nobody knows what happens. So that's so apart from the Bitcoin thing or cryptocurrency thing, I'm definitely fascinated by this blockchain concept. There are opportunities in the supply chain ecosystem for something like blockchain. So if you look at if you look at how this information exchange evolved, right? Back in those days, there was packing slips that companies would fax each other, right? Because that was the ASN, Advanced Shipment Notice. There was no other electronically way to transmit information unless it's a really big company. Those are the companies that had. This is the days before internet, right? Before internet was there, back in before 2003 2002. It was all done through modems, and not everybody had internet, and the EDI to internet was not fully working at that time. So people would send information, advanced shipment notices, through packing slips. So they would fax each other, hey, this is my packing slip, this is the packing slip. The packing slip said was, hey, these are the boxes that are coming to your facility, and it's going to come. Nobody knew exactly what time it would come, but it's coming, it's on its way, and it has left our facility, and hopefully it'll be arriving on this day, right? So it was very primitive information, and at that time, it was a big step forward just for the people to agree to exchange information, because they don't know whether, hey, this is my competitor or this is my partner, or nobody knew that, right? So it was a challenge. So just exchanging information was a big deal, and I still remember Alan Dabiri. He was the entrepreneur, Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. He won the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year award in 1998, and he had written this supply chain collaboration paper, and he was talking about how important it is for the players within the supply chain to collaborate, and how important it is for them to share that information. So that's how this whole advanced shipment notice concept came into place, and so eventually this ASNs became the norm. So and again, there are different levels of ASN. There is a shipment level ASN, which is a SKU level ASN, or a case level ASN. So the SKU level ASN, all it says is, hey, this is my truck, and in my truck I have this many 1,000 units of this shirt, and 1,000 units of this pants, and 1,000 units of this T-shirt, right? Whereas case level ASN is it identified information at the box level. So each box, it said, hey, this box has 10 units of this, 10 units of this, and 10 units of this. So it's a one step forward compared to the SKU level ASN or the shipment level ASN, because the information is trackable at a smaller level. So if something gets lost, you can always track it down to the box, and then you can find the box eventually, hopefully, right? So it was a better level of information, and also that made receiving easier, right, in the warehouse. So the receivers can be much better prepared, and hey, I know this many boxes are coming, and you can even automate your receiving process if this is coming from a really trusted vendor, right? There was vendor performance systems in place, and you're going to grade your vendor, rate your vendor based on how well they perform, how many compliance issues they have, and things like that. So you could if there are vendors that do absolutely great job, and there was no miscount, or everything was perfect, then you could automate the receiving, at least for them. So your throughput is better for your facility. So that's a case level ASN. So like this, this ASN is very important, because that's the only way, especially in big companies like Hewlett Packard and Walmart, and as where companies are buying a lot of products from Far East, and all these come through ocean, and it's very important to have that visibility at that level. Hey, where is this box, or where is this shipment, where is this PO, and what container it is, and which vessel is tracking, carrying them, and all that, right? So ASNs added a lot of value. But what is the problem? That, for example, let's say if there is a salmonella outbreak in one of the salads or in some meat, if we don't know where that is coming from, that's where the concept of track and trace comes into place, right? So any food that is obviously in the US, we import a lot from other countries. I believe the bananas come from Colombia or Chile, things like that, right? There is whole controversy around this bananas that are being grown by these terrorists and things like that, and how they're coming here and things like that. So the point is that, if you're able to use this blockchain for track and trace, if I'm, buying a salad in Costco, and if I know, hey, these are the ingredients and this is where all these came from, and if I can go and look that information up in blockchain, and for some reason, and also imagine if that ecosystem or the blockchain supports some third-party validators, like people that certify, hey, everything is good, or if there is a salmonella outbreak, if there is something disastrous that happens, they can jump in and immediately look up. The current ASN is only from party A to party B, right? I'm sending shipment to you, so hey, this is my ASN to you, right? And it's strictly based on the product that's moving between one party to another party. Whereas in a blockchain environment, it's possible to have a validator that's just strictly an observer, just sets the protocol, make sure everything is functioning correctly, or if there is a disastrous situation, in case of a salmonella outbreak or something, they're able to jump in and do something about it and stop it, right away, instead of waiting for someone. Or obviously in a scenario like that, in a salmonella outbreak, and if I have product, and I'm going to be very hesitant to disclose that, because I don't want to be the bad guy, and I don't want to be the one that made that mistake or whatever. So I'm going to explore all my legal angles and everything before I come to the press or whatever, right? So that's why this blockchain has a lot of opportunity in terms of better able to track, and there could be a third party validator that could make sure this ecosystem functions. If there is a problem, they can jump in and solve it right away. And imagine if you can add images to all these shipments, right? And that's what you can image enable your supply chain, and also blockchain enable your images. That means you can add, along with the PO information, along with the shipment information, along with the ASN, all this notification. You can also add these images to track the condition of the load itself, condition of the pallet, condition of the case, right? I mean, especially in a cross-border scenario where there may be risks like this, terrorists growing bananas and things like that. That might be very useful, right? To see the condition, and if something went wrong, what happened exactly. So you can monitor the condition through pictures, from one GPS coordinate to another GPS coordinate. So that will be interesting to see. So that's where I am excited about blockchain, right? The concept is fascinating. You can support a nice ecosystem, but how that's going to be implemented with real currency, right? Not with this cryptocurrency, with real currency, or there has to be some kind of if I'm shipping a multi-million-dollar container, I cannot fathom that this suddenly $1 million disappeared out of thin air, right? That doesn't make any sense. That's not realistic, So that's something that needs to be addressed. If that is addressed, and if people figure out a way to make that work through the real currency or real contracts without the cryptocurrency, which would potentially just like that disappear, that would be very interesting to see. That's where I'm excited about blockchain, and would love to hear your thoughts. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video.